Good evening, ALTTPR race fans. We have the other semifinal starting between Gylgamesh and zelgadissan. Semifinal starting with 80 keys, where we start with boots. My name is Tracy M. With me tonight is someone pretty familiar with this tournament. Skelly, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Really looking forward to this race. Both these guys are doing awesomely in this tournament so far, and it should be a really good race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zelga has been around they've both been around for a while. Zelga, always a favorite to go far in one of these tournaments, but this is as far as he's gotten. He's never quite, usually he goes out pretty early, it seems, all the way to the semis. Gil, I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting to see him go this far, but really awesome. He's put on a great show, getting all the way to the semis. So. Should be a fun one, and it looks like we have some dueling. What's it, Phoenix, right? Sprites going today.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of them main these sprites. They're not even just doing it for this matchup or anything. This is just a genuine Phoenix Wright sprite matchup.
Absolutely. But yeah, we got our 80 keys, we got our boots. Start. We'll see. And tomorrow will be cross hunt for game 2. And then we'll see what happens in game 3, which would of course be open. And we start with 10 arrows.
Yeah, looks like both of them starting out at Sank. We've been seeing a little bit of divergence just with the initial save quit throughout this tournament. Some people have been enjoying going to Saha really early. This is kind of the more traditional way to approach 80 keys, just starting at Sank and then heading west, probably arming a tree pole, checking bush crabs, just doing things to try and get resources early on.
What do you think of the this quick route over to Saha? I mean, you do it because of the boots, because you can actually guarantee to open up the hole. But it's kind of out of the way of everything else.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense if you hate Eastern Palace, which I have on good authority that Zelga hates Eastern Palace a lot.
Yep.
Because that's the one concession you kind of make going to Saha early. Like, if you do have to do an early Eastern dip, then you're making another trip over there.
Yep.
If you assume you don't have to do that, though, it's pretty nice just to give you one extra opportunity to find, like, maybe a bottle for CAC or a flute would be extra nice.
Okay. I confess I could not see whatever they all saw.
I think that was a small key.
Okay.
It might have been a big key, but I'm pretty sure it was a small key.
Okay. So the small key is kind of not really what you want to see there. Honestly, for 80 keys, I like to see something I know I need. And preferably something I know I need for a crystal dungeon. So I know that I'm going to get Castle Tower small keys. A small key sitting there really doesn't tell me a lot, because it could be a Swamp Palace small key, which is super important. Or it could be Mire 3, which nobody cares about. Even, it's got logical implications, but that's it.
Yeah, we'll have to pay attention to that in case we end up with a Castle Tower small key go mode, which is often the case with this mode, because it could potentially have some implications, but where that small key couldn't be. For example, if we can, like, confirm that Lumberjack key is a pod key and pod is a crystal, then the Castle Tower small key couldn't be in GT,
right,
for instance. But like you said, it could just be like a Mire key or an ice key, and then it really doesn't mean anything at all.
Love these guaranteed bonk rocks that are on the way to Kakariko, so you can guarantee to be able to get into these two locations, get everything in one go.
Yeah, that's another really nice thing about boot start, besides just being able to go fast. Just having a consistent place to get bombs in the opening is very nice.
Well, there's what would be your Eastern kit, except we don't have a big key. Lamp and bow already. How quick do you head over to Eastern if the big key shows up?
I mean, honestly, first thing, I would say. I think both these guys are perfectly capable of doing that with 3 hearts. I mean, even if they didn't have the lamp, I think it would be a good option to go there.
Imagine 10 minutes less. Yeah, we're 3 minutes in and we're a big key away from a logical Eastern Palace. That's crazy. But we get flippers as well. Lots of money. Money not going to be an issue this seed at all. Of course, we had bush crabs dropping 20s, so Not going to be an issue at all. Small key to Hera, everybody's least favorite key. I say that fully serious.
Yeah, nice to find all that money. Oh my gosh, the flute.
A flute.
Okay, that's
Right.
pretty sweet.
Much more convenient can that be? And the stink we're getting here.
Yeah, so now we have a lot of options. Having a flute this early means you can choose like whatever order you want to do the light world, because it's fairly arbitrary when you're just fluting to each location anyway. So we'll see what order they choose to do things.
Well, the synced flute grab to the synced activation to the synced bomb buy into the chicken hut.
Yep, we're synced in every possible way except Zelga is a bit wealthier than Gil.
Yeah, I think Zelga may have gotten more of the bush crab 20s. Early heart container. No bottle to check sick kid yet, so we'll pass him by for now. And a big key to Eastern. We're gonna get Eastern big. Game want us there? Nope. I mean, we need that big key, so no one's upset, but...
Okay, and they're both checking race game just by going through the house first without even looking at it. I like doing this myself. The odds of this being an item you actually need are much higher in AD keys compared to like open mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely, this is a mode where you see people do that blindly the most. It is a map, neither one is going to pick it up. Map's not particularly useful here because of the, you have to do everything anyway. You're not going to see a lot of map checks. The only thing I could see about picking up a map is, like, there is still logic about maps and compasses having to be available before you fight the boss, but, again, we're killing everything. We're going to do everything, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I think there's barely anybody that is actually, like, mentally able to do that map compass logic anyway. Personally, I just ignore it completely.
Understandable.
So I completely understand both of them skipping that first map and also that second map. We just saw Zelga run past.
Yeah, I mean, they're slow. Like, if it, you pick one up in a chest, it's kind of whatever, but...
Yeah, those extra text boxes add up.
They really do. Mini Moldorm. We have bombs, we have arrows. There's plenty good for this. Zelga using a bunch of arrows. There's our bottle. And a book. A book gets us into desert, where we can do a few checks. And by a few, I mean 2.
Yep. Zelga is just gonna flute to 8 and kind of do what you would normally do if you didn't have the flute, which is completely fine. This is something that never gets faster, so you might as well just do it now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, 80 keys is in general the full clear mode, and obviously we don't always have to hit everything, but those CT small key hunts can get very involved. We get a glove though, so we do need those. Looks like we're gonna head over to Zora with this money. We're gonna do the sequence break with the water walk.
Yep. And we do have the actual flippers, so you can do this neat little trick that Zelga's done here, where he swims through that first part and then the water walk activates after jumping off the waterfall, which saves a little bit of time, which is pretty nice.
Okay, heart on the island, so we don't care about that. Might be nice to have right now, but we're not going to need it by the time we can get it. I'm certainly not going to care. Unfortunately, the man on the bridge is giving us some arrows. Yeah, a little unfortunate. Gil at 491, so if he wants to do Zora right now, not quite going to be able to do it. So it's going to go for something else.
Zelga actually fluting to 8, which is a little bit faster than swinging back to this whirlpool here by I think just a couple seconds. And I like that decision he made to take his water walk all the way to Hobo, because that's a lot of extra distance you're getting.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're using those boots instead of swimming. It gets more mileage out of it that way.
All right, Gil gonna take that glove to the back of escape. Pod key, 5 rupees, and bombs. So the pod key, not completely insignificant. Obviously, you need all 6 logically. We can get away with 5 to clear the whole dungeon, and if we don't need everything in the dungeon, we can get away with much fewer.
Yeah, I tend to find with these 80 key seeds, you almost always have to double dip pod. We'll see how they choose to approach it once they have Dark World access.
So just Canaburna on Zora. I didn't see it was on the ledge, but Zelga didn't pick it up, so I'm assuming it was nothing.
And I think it was a piece of heart.
Yeah, we're not going out of way for a piece of heart. Ooh, small key on the ledge for desert. Might want that. Certainly gonna pick it up.
So Gil's gonna go into desert using that book he found. Like you said, there's only 2 checks in here that he can actually do because he doesn't have either of the keys. But then there's also that key on the ledge he can grab.
And you can route Gina in here, which is nice because that's often a very orphan check.
Yep, for sure.
And Zelga's gonna go for the castle. Maybe hoping to get some sort of key before doing this play. Mire's nice.
Yes, that's very nice.
You know, the funny thing is getting in the Mire in this part of desert means you can't just use it immediately.
Yeah.
Unless you want to exit the other way. Skullwood's small. Good to have one of those for routing purposes. And logically, we need all 3, but... GT small. You hope not to need any GT smalls, because you don't if you're just gonna climb. I imagine after Zelga's done with Hyrule Castle and after Gil's done with this desert area, they'll swap places. Gil might go ahead and do Zora at some point. I didn't see if he's gotten to 500 yet.
He's awfully close.
Yeah, 3 rupees short. Surely by the time he's done doing the mountain checks, he'll have 3 more rupees.
So this is, it makes sense as a follow-up to getting the Mire, since that will let him get up to Tower of Hera. The unfortunate thing is he still doesn't have a hammer. So if, let's say we still have to do like East Death Mountain at some point before finding Dark World access, could mean a second mountain climb, which would be unfortunate.
Well, there's that money for Zora. A little unfortunate for Zelga that he's doing Hyrule Castle without the Mire, though. He's gonna have to take a Death Warp down here.
Yeah, at least his health is low enough that it's
Yep.
going to be pretty fast, but I mean, even the death animation itself costs a little bit of time.
Is that a bottle? I couldn't quite see. Whatever it is, Gil's not going after it. Yeah, I do agree with chat saying that if he gets a desert key, he's gonna come out pretty nicely ahead. All right, Gil's now set for the rest of the seed money-wise with that 300. No big key, no hook shot. We can't beat this dungeon, but we do have the small key.
Yeah, and a lamp. So
Yeah, it's way too early to be skipping this check.
this next room is actually going to be a little bit scary for Gil. Being on one-hit KO and not having a sword, you'll have to be pretty on top of dodging the Moldorm RNG.
And Zelda's gonna check out Saha before doing any desert. An Ire small, compass, and bombs.
Oh, it's a little bit close, but he made it. Everything's fine.
Oh, baby. Yeah, we can't skip that.
It's our Moon Pearl, and we still can't even really use it yet.
Nope.
We're still looking for another glove or the hammer.
And we're nowhere close to being able to do Castle Tower, so... No small keys or a sword. Or a cape. Yeah, Zelda's gonna go ahead and do the mountain stuff first. Obviously, he's not gonna be able to do that much. Might be just rescuing the old man. Might not even bother with Beckrock Cave.
Yeah, just having the save quit point is pretty nice because it's sort of like it gives you the ability to flute to one without, or you can like flute to one from inside of a cave is how I like to think of it. Just gives you a little bit more flexibility with your routing later. Looks like he is going to go check Spec Rock while he's at it. So between the two of them, I think we're pretty much just down to... Is it only Eastern?
I think that's what we're down to, is Eastern.
Yeah, someone did check the kid, right? We saw that, I think.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, one of them did. Knowing Zelga, knowing both these, right, I would expect to see Zelga go to Desert and Gil go to Hyrule Castle, and they'll probably converge back at Eastern.
Yep. So the ordering that they chose in the end isn't going to make a huge difference. The nicest thing is that for Gil, he only climbed the mountain once, so Zelga's going to have to do it a second time. Otherwise, it hasn't been too consequential that they've done things in a different order.
Alright, Zelga gets that mirror. Looks like Gil's gonna go ahead and do Dark Cross first, which makes a certain amount of sense. It is the in-logic check, as opposed to the 2 out of the 3 Hyrule Castle basement are not in logic without the small key. It doesn't stop anyone from going there in most modes. You know, just some entrance situations where your Sank start is not accessible early.
Okay, so Zelda still has a choice here, which is, does he want to go to Hera with that mirror, or does he go into Eastern?
He's going to Hera.
Yeah, I mean, it is Zelda, so...
Yeah, and there's exactly what you're talking about. He was able to save and quit to the mountain.
He's actually swooting. Okay.
What are we doing? Oh, we're going to Eastern. Okay. But yeah, he was able to save and quit to the mountain. straight from Ajita's cave, which is really nice, having already done the rescue.
Yeah, so if the hammer is the Dark World axis that we're looking for, then Zelga's not really losing a mountain climb. Because he will be able to do East Death Mountain anyway after he gets Pearl from Hera. I'm assuming he would not skip Hair Basement. You don't really skip stuff that early on in this mode.
You get a sword, that's nice. And even though we're probably going to end up double dipping this Eastern Palace since we don't have the big key, Eastern can end up being triple dipped if you have to come here without a bow or a big key. Guaranteed not to have that happen. But our Dark World axis is mitts.
Okay, so unless something else is also here, then Zelga's return trip to Hera is not going to be any more productive.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Big key. Aw. I mean, there's no way the game's putting Eastern big key there, right? Big key to Swamp instead. Which, you know, I mean, if you're gonna have to pick up a big key to Swamp Palace where it only opens up the one chest, you'd rather have it before you go there. Alright, well, we have Mit's Dark World Axis. Zelga needs to go get that Moon Pearl. Gil's gonna get his Mit's.
Yeah, the way forward at this point is very, very linear. Oh, I guess Zelga does have King's Tomb. That's right. You can check that first.
Oh, that's true. Good call. There's one more chance to get something good for the mountain.
But they're both basically last locating the Dark World access, and then their Dark World access really only gives them access to one portal, so they're both going to be going the same direction for a while.
Actually, Zelga has one more check he can do before heading to the mountain, because he can go to Mire and get a checkerboard, and that's where he's headed.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
That's a little unfortunate. That is a classic Moon Pearl location. Certainly one of the more interesting ones. This is going to be kind of slow. He might try and sequence break Mire Shed. It's not too bad. With the mirror, you can get in there at the Super Bunny state.
Yeah, if you're quick with that, that's a nice trick to be able to do. But he has to be figuring he's going to find his Moon Pearl imminently anyway. Also, that was probably a little bit of muscle memory there, mirroring, forgetting that he's already actually been to desert.
Yeah, he might have.
Unusual situation with all these desert access items this early on.
Yeah, he might have actually been doing that to get away from the murder dactyl, but you know, either way, it is just a heart there, so now he knows he has to go back to.
Yeah, that's true. The bird was a bit of a problem there.
So Gil, very close to those mitts, is going to have them very soon. Both runners have checked this tablet. It's nothing.
Alright, so now Gil heading to the Mire area, he actually has the Pearl. So he can dash to his heart's content here and check Mire Shed easily. I like this choice. Knocking out these checks, they're pretty fast. Wait, didn't we need Quake for Mire?
I didn't see it.
I think we may have. I could be wrong. But yeah, I like this choice because normally, you know, the mitts are going to get you access into that portal by CAC, and then like you go on a very, very long adventure through the whole Dark World from there. So I like knocking out these quick few checks before committing to that, just in case you find something you'll want for that long trip.
Yeah, totally agree. And you know, getting that information of what medallion you need to go into Misery Mire also useful. Are we double checking? Yeah, we're. Oh wait, are we going in?
Yeah, okay, we're going in.
That's spicy. There's that Moon Pearl for Zelga. We're gonna get some diversions.
Yeah, this is an interesting choice. And with Zelga, since he's already checked Checkerboard Cave, there's even less incentive for him to check Mire Shed. Okay, he's gonna do it anyway.
Okay. We'll see if he follows Gil into the dungeon though.
Yeah, so we have a small key and a big key. That puts some of this stuff in logic.
Yeah. Yeah, we need 3 to do the right side in logic, but you know, you don't actually need any Mire small keys to finish the dungeon. We'll see if either of them goes to the right side.
No, Zelga's thinking about it. But yeah, I think we have 5 out of 8 in logic here. Left side requires all 3 small keys. And then we can't do the boss since we don't have Samaria, but everything else should be in logic.
I mean, you definitely do compass chest, which is what Gil's doing right now. A little more, you know, because the cutscene, it's long, it's slow, it's not in logic, but those Mire keys are out there somewhere. If this is a crystal and the Mire keys are in GT, then it's guaranteed that it's not going to be anything we need. But
yeah,
you know, those keys are there. You know, so he's going to do it.
Yeah, it extra sucks doing this with the lamp, not the fire rod.
Yep.
But I mean, if you are gonna do the Mire dip this early, I think you do commit to the bit and just go for this right now.
Yeah, I think so. Zelga, meanwhile, checking out Skullwoods. Art piece so far. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, TBD.
I mean, it's just one fetch quest, basically, but that does route nicely into doing the rest of the Dark World.
Oh, Zelga finding a Thieves Town big key. That's, you know, that puts almost all of Thieves Town in logic. We just can't get that big chest. Because we don't have the hammer. Turtle Rock
Oh, and there's
oh my god, the cane is in Mire. So... Okay, so do you do a Fighter Sword Vitreous fight here?
No way.
Bow plus
no
Fighter
way.
Sword?
Yeah, I mean, so Vidi is in logic now.
Yep.
But with this equipment, the fight would be so slow and so dangerous that I don't think there's any way he goes for it. I mean, especially when you have the entire Dark World available to you, like, you should just go find some swords, come back later, or anything else, really.
Alright, small key on Bumper Ledge is interesting. Not mirroring out.
Oh my god, is he actually going for it? I can't believe that.
Half magic for Zelga. That's a nice find. Over at Graveyard Ledge. I think he's going for it.
All right, now this is committing to the bit. We'll see how this goes. This could end in disaster. The thing is, even if it goes well, it's still probably just slower than waiting.
Are we gonna get? And we're getting an early catfish check from Zelga. Yeah, even like a master sword here, because then you could actually do the strat where you run through Vitreous with the cane, because we have that cane of Berna. But you have to use spins to do anything with the fighter sword.
Yeah, the Berna in this case, like he can use it for safety if he wants, but he won't be able to do any damage while he's using it.
Right, catfish is a whole lot of nothing. Well, Zelga heading over to Misery Mire as well. He's not going to be any better equipped, though. Like if you're Zelga or Gil and you're making this play into Misery Mire, you're not expecting that you're actually going to be able to finish the dungeon. That's not the plan.
It's a pretty unfortunate first lightning shot. That one bolt really went out of its way just to hit Gil.
Yeah, I like using the bombs as much as you can. Soften these guys up.
Okay, and he does have a blue.
And uses it. I mean, you have to. Money's not an issue, so you can buy more potions if you absolutely need them. If you can manage to have 8 arrows left after you kill all the eyeballs, you're going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job so far. Ooh, that was close. Oh my god.
The lighting just went around him there. Gil, please.
Alright.
You have 2
Looks like
arrows
he's got it in the bag.
This. Yeah, just use arrows on this guy now. Yep, 2. Okay. This last one is taking its time. There we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, so he did that basically as well as you reasonably could have with this equipment.
Totally agree.
That said, it's still slow. Like, even if you do well, this fight is very slow with this equipment, so it doesn't really get paid off for it. We'll see what Zelga decides to do once he finds his cane, see if he does the same thing.
Yeah, Zelga with 1 less heart, which, normally isn't significant, but for this fight, I'd say that's kind of significant. Alright, Zelga gets that Skullwood's big key, which has got to be really annoying, having just been there, and now gets the cane. And we'll see what decision he makes.
Well, I was wrong the first time, so I won't take a guess.
I'll be interested to see what is in this Skullwood's big chest. We're about to find out. A whole lot of nothing. Just a piece of heart.
Okay, Zelga is going out of his way to get some extra hearts.
Yeah,
that means something.
Yeah, indicative of him finishing it too.
Yeah, because you don't really need hearts to do what he's about to check here.
Right.
Okay, he is going to go for it. Wow, these guys are so much braver than I am.
I know, right?
It does make a bit more sense from Zelga's perspective just because he's exhausted a little bit more of the rest of the game compared to Gil. And of course, he knows Vidi is in logic, so his progression could be there.
Yeah, with that half magic though, it is a shame that he doesn't have a better sword. Because you could totally use that and just get through the fight pretty easily otherwise. Got 26 arrows and 10 bombs, so that's a good start. And he also has that blue potion that we saw Gil use.
Yep, as you said, his health is a little bit lower. I guess once he uses the potion, the math isn't going to make it any different, though, because all the damage is either 4 or 2.
Yep.
Zelga is extremely accomplished spoiler runner, so low percent boss fights are definitely in his wheelhouse.
For sure.
But that said,
he just used okay.
Yeah,
he already used the bottle, and that looked on purpose.
Yeah, he was on one hit KO.
Yep.
If he touches an eyeball, so that makes sense. It's really unfortunate that he took that damage from the fire snake before coming in here. Well, this is not looking too good so far, but he can still bring it back.
Meanwhile, Gil's in Thieves Town.
Yep, and he just found the Master Sword.
The thing, yeah, if Zelga had gone into Thieves Town, would have had that Master Sword, would have made a huge difference on this play. Again, you want 8 arrows for the final phase. Oh my god.
He can take a lightning hit. Holy crap!
Okay, we're good.
Right.
We're good.
Wow.
Well done. I mean, this is your semi-finalists. You know, very well done from both our runners here. Just the amount of time lost if you don't survive that fight is just so awful.
Yeah, a death there is massive. It's at least 2 minutes, maybe even closer to 3. I mean, with how much time the fight itself takes before you die, like,
yep.
It's even more of a time loss. Zelga's going right back to Skullwoods to check that big chest that he couldn't do the first time.
Still hoping for, still hoping for the hammer to have be able to full clear Thieves Town in one go, and not have that big chest looming. Interesting, gonna do it from the back here, which, you know, just say isn't a big deal, but saves that bomb jump if you like it. Or nope, he just wants the bombs. That works too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fall from the back, like, is it? I don't know. I actually don't know, because I'm sure somebody's timed it. If it actually is faster to, if you're falling into the back anyway, like, is it slower to actually do that little pull and do that? Still faster the bomb jump. Thank you. Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, I imagine the wall explosion takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you also have to blow up the first cracked wall in the first place.
Yep.
So it costs you a bomb either way.
But yeah, Zelga had been at 0 bombs, so really smart to go ahead and do that to grab a bomb.
So talking about Thieves Town a little bit here, we do have Thieves Town small key, so all of the back is actually in logic, except for big chest, which we can't open without the hammer. Hammerless Thieves Town is always a tricky thing to deal with, or even if it's not Hammerless Thieves Town, like small keyless Thieves Town.
Yep. Anytime you're leaving that big chest for later is a little scary.
Yeah, but for all we know, like the hammer could actually be on blind or could have been in the attic because we do
Yep.
have that small key. Normally that's out of logic without the small key.
I think Zelga's gonna try and do a little bit more overworld before he goes in there.
Yep, makes sense. I mean, he can always just flute to 3. It doesn't take very long to get back to Thieves Town.
That's a lot of digging for 300 rupees that we don't need.
So you're gonna go back and pick up the smith.
Well, if he's gonna do Thieves Town at all, he's gonna do it after this turn-in. If he's gonna, he might just instead grab the purple chest, walk it down, end at Hype Cave, and then he'll have decisions to make. See if that hammer shows up.
Yeah, I think at this point he's definitely just gonna skip Thieves for the time being.
I think the only thing he's missing out, I think there was a pod small, and of course that Master Sword. I definitely missed some of, yeah, you can't leave the chest yet. I definitely missed some of the Thieves Town checks watching Zelga go through the Vitreous fight.
Yeah, me too. My eyes were too glued to,
Yeah.
you know, a potential train wreck. It was actually, you know, very well executed by both of them, but...
Which is why we have our trackers, Darak and Kif. Can't do it without them. They were paying attention to the appropriate runner. But yeah, Zelga almost ran off without that purple chest, which, you know, is fine, except we have this spot we want to check with the mirror. And you can't mirror without the purple chest and have it still be there later.
Yes, he can leave it behind now because he doesn't need to use the mirror again before he gets to where the... I forget, what is his name? Gary or something?
Yeah. Somebody named him Gary.
Yeah, for anyone unfamiliar with this trick, you can just leave the purple chest behind, and if your next mirror use is very close to the guy that you turn the chest in at, it'll just work. Like, it'll turn it in for some reason, I don't know why. So it's nice because now Zelga can actually use his boots between Cave 45 and turning that chest in.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few exceptions, like, basically, you don't grab a follower, don't mirror elsewhere, and you still can do it. Another pod small in Hype Cave. Ice Palace big. That is a logical but not hard required big key. Nice to have. Another one of those ones you want to have before you go to the area, though.
Yes.
Just piece art on the purple chest, though. We do have a Bombos tablet, which is interesting because Gil's just going to be able to get the item. Zelga's going to be able to read it. So a little faster for Zelga, but if it's an item, he's going to have to come back for it. Ah, it's just bombs. Okay.
Yep. That's funny how it works out. This is actually time save for Zelga.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have to do the Bombos animation.
And I wonder if either of our runners will go over to Swamp Palace, since you can just do the first check really quickly, but it's still a slow check. Okay, Zelga says no. Gale's gonna do it. We don't have a hook shot either, so there's a few things missing before we can do much on Swamp. So I'll go back to the Village of Outcasts. This might be a concession and just going ahead and doing Thieves Town.
Yeah, after checking Bombo's tablet, like, you're a little bit out of the way for continuing your Dark World loop, like, towards Pod.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he already did Hype Cave, so I think this was kind of his plan the whole time. But yeah, we know he's not going to find anything for himself here. Pod is probably just our answer at this point.
Yeah, it's sure starting to seem that way. There's that second pod small in here. I think, no, I guess that gives us 3 total. And if pod has a 4th one early on, that would make a lot of it in logic and a lot of it that we just can do.
Yeah, so 2 keys is basically the same as 1 key. 3 keys, could it mean something? This is where we get into everyone's favorite topic, which is key logic differences between different branches of the randomizer.
Yep.
With 3 keys, sometimes things in the back of pod are in logic, sometimes they're not. It depends at this point on where the hammer is. But I mean, either way, there's a decent amount of stuff that's definitely in logic just off one
absolutely.
key.
We have a bow too, so that's 2 additional items that don't even need keys. So a nice thing for Gil is he's going to be able to do these North Dark Roll checks and take that all the way into pod. Or Zelga's still going to have to go all the way around, but he's already done these checks.
I think that was a small key on bumper ledge there.
Yep, so we got a small key on bumper ledge and a small key in its counterpart at lumberjack.
Yeah.
Great, thanks game. It's too bad we can't find a way to color keys so that we know which one is sitting where.
Oh my gosh.
Although trying to remember that might be more than that's worth. Yep, there's that pod small for Zelga.
Okay, so we are at 3 pod smalls. I see. So the way this works with pod logic is basically if the hammer is inaccessible, then the parts of pod that normally need 4 keys will only need 3 keys. Of course, we don't know where the hammer is, so we won't really know if that stuff is in logic or not until after it's already been done, probably.
The nice thing is, from a practical standpoint, you can always kind of take 1 key less because you're never gonna open that door into the dark maze unless you have all 6. So
Yep.
With 3 keys, we can do a lot. There's those arrows for Gil. Not even going to take them. Doesn't need them. Has 27.
He's used enough arrows for 1 seed already, I think, after the adventures in Mire.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're going to be hitting pod at about the same time because Zelga's already done the catfish check.
Yeah, 47 minutes in, and we have another pretty much perfect sync.
Yeah, we're going to check the... Oh, both runners are going to check the pyramid ledge. Like it. We could also do 1 chest in Castle Tower. So both have their mirror out, so ready to do it. Different mirror spots. That spot that Gil used is one I really like in cross keys to get all these entrances. Not quite as interesting in this scenario. I don't think it's nearly as useful.
Yeah, I think it saves a little bit of time, but yeah.
Still a nice spot to know. Unfortunately, just a piece of heart here. Yeah, slower if you don't. Yeah, I think that's it's slow. Apparently slower if you don't pick up the item. That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
All right, and we're gonna head over to Pod with our 3 small keys.
All right. So what's it gonna be? Just the hammer? No, that's too boring.
I mean,
I'm hoping for
get a
hook
hook shot.
here.
I know we
Yeah.
can get a hook shot and open up all of East Death Mountain, dark and light. Certainly would be interesting. Fire Rod gets us Skull Woods, although we need more keys for that to actually be in logic. Well, the chest is in logic.
Yeah, but you know, Fire Rod would also give us Ice Palace.
It
which would be a
would.
nice comedy option.
Small key to this dungeon. Immediate.
Classic.
Good job, Pod. Can we get one more so we can actually full clear this? Oh, this is... Okay, so Gil's gonna go ahead and do the big key chest. That's interesting. Just a piece of heart.
Yeah, so most likely this is going to be Gil skipping Harmless Hellway, so
That
I'll
would
just skipping
be-
Big Key Chest.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
So if something good is in Hellway, then that could be a very big deal.
The school of thought is generally, if you have the Pod Big Key, do Harmless Hellway, you never have to go to the back again. If you don't have it, leaving that gives you 2 checks in the back instead of just 1. Really, you hope you just never have to go back there. Either way. Whatever we need is in... Well, unless it's that shovel. Whatever we need is in the back.
Yep. Yeah, I think we have seen everything else, so...
And if it
But
is
no.
the shovel, we're going to check that. I mean, if there's nothing else here, we're checking that shovel immediately.
A lot of bottlenecks for an AD keys seed, I have to say.
Oh,
Womp,
that's
womp, okay.
disgustingly annoying bad. Oh my god, are they gonna, like, do we have anything else left other than take that small key and use it?
I don't think so. I think it's that or shovel. We should probably check first.
Oh yeah, you definitely, I mean, if the shovel is your hook shot, then you'd feel really dumb for not having done it. But that's actually logically only one item. We can do more because of Specky Clip, but without the hammer, it's just 1 check. Zelga will get 2 out of it since he hasn't done the first chest.
Yeah, that's gonna feel really bad for Gil, since he's already done the first one. When he has to go back in... Oh, Gil actually used all the keys. Okay. I mean, at this point...
I don't have the guts to do that.
like, So he's gonna check Dark Maze here. It's very unlikely the hammer is in there because it's all out of logic. Like, there's no way the hammer is gonna lock every single pod key, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably thinking he has to come back anyway. And at that point, you might as well just wait till you find whatever logical pod smalls you need to
So
kill
I'm
Helmsmer
also
anyway.
gonna go ahead and spend this last key. I thought he mirrored out. I didn't think he death warped. If he had taken a death, he could have done this and just reset if it was nothing and gotten the key back. But we're on even footing. Both our runners are gonna need to find pod 5.
Yeah, I think the thinking with not death warping is just like you're not gonna come back before you have another key anyway.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. And unfortunately, this is our only Dark World access, is right here. We have to do it. We have to go all the way to Flute 3 to run over to Swamp Palace because we don't have a hammer. Zelka will probably check the shovel spot with the Mire on path, and Gil's gonna just check the shovel spot immediately.
Yeah, this is a clever idea from Zelga. I didn't really think about this.
I mean, if this is...
Oh!
that's a key to...
Oh.
Okay, well, logically required, we just... not that we care. Yeah, Zelga's route was definitely the more efficient route. But if that had been something that could take Gil in a different direction, then doing that first would have been better. Now,
yeah.
Do you go on in Swamp and do some of the things that you can do? Like, if you had a hook shot, you would just do it. But we can do all of the front of Swamp. We can do left side.
We can, assuming the hammer is there. But it could be something...
Oh, we don't... Wait, never mind. We can't even Specky Clicks. We don't have a hook shot. We can only do one check. We got 2 checks.
But, I mean, the hammer might just be there anyway.
Which would be funny. Or
actually, it could be the hook shot, too.
It could be the hook shot. Yeah, totally could be the hook shot.
I mean, we know it's something.
Yeah, Specky Clip has gotten me thinking, hey, we don't need a hammer, right? But, like, if you do Specky Clip, you still need a hook shot, so...
Okay, what's it gonna be? Okay. This seed sucks.
I mean, I believe Allison was calling for that. So Gil, Zelga, you know who to blame.
Alright, time to
ice
go to
palace
ice.
Anybody without a hammer? A lot we can do in ice. And we even get 1 extra check with Canis Maria. We don't have a small key, so if we do want to do an icebreaker, we do need to steal the conveyor key. And we'll see if either one goes for that.
Yeah, I think in this situation you should. It's very specific, but I think that does save a pretty significant amount of time. Nice quick strat from Zelga.
You could see one extra check. Hoping that would be an ice small key. That would be nice.
I do think the right side of ice is going to be out of logic without the hook shot anyway, but...
Yeah, no small keys, no hook shot. Or you could do this, which is get these 2 checks, but then you're going to have to... If you don't get a small key in one of these 2 chests, you're going to have to mirror out. And it looks like Zelga's ready for that possibility. Unless the hammer decides to show up, and then you can get the small key that's sitting under that rock. Nope.
A little bit unfortunate having to do another Bombos here with the route. But yeah, I think doing conveyor first, taking the key and just mirroring, and then icebreaking. I think that would have just been better.
I like the key steal better. Like next time when you come in here to beat the dungeon, you're not going that way anyway, so that key does nothing for you. So maybe make it work for you. Yeah, I think Gil's gonna go ahead and steal the key. I think we'll see. He may just not even bother with the right side at all. Also,
yeah, that's another option. Okay. Yeah,
nope.
He's skipping.
Okay. No key stealers today.
It's either skipping right side or he's gonna do it differently than by icebreakering. But yeah, the idea with stealing that key that Zelga just got, if he mirrored here and then ice broke or whatever the past tense is, he would basically just get to skip these next couple of rooms that he's doing right now, and that would be the difference in time save.
Yeah, this isn't like the desert key steal, where that now forces you to find a desert small key to finish the dungeon.
Desert small key, you say?
Speaking of desert small keys, can we get a big key to go with this so we can finish the dungeon? Can get a hammer.
Okay.
So the other annoying thing is now we can check that other side, but it's a little less convenient. Yeah, Gil's just gonna beat the dungeon. Yeah, this route for Gil is gonna work out much better, but he might come back in for the right side.
Another fairly difficult boss fight. Gil already taken a bunch of damage, but now that he has Master Sword, he can actually use Burna and still do damage at the same time, unlike the Vidi fight. So he's still perfectly safe here.
I don't think neither one of them has gone and gotten an extra bottle, so... Speaking of, we get one from the boss. With no small keys available at the moment, that right side is certainly not in logic without a hook shot. Gil's gonna go back in. That's 3 checks for him. It's only gonna be 1 for Zelga if he goes back in.
See Zelga using a hammer a lot here. Now this is... it's nice for him because this does more damage. The reason Gil couldn't do this, or at least chose not to do it, is because he was using Burna. You can't use both items at the same time, of course. So I think he's saving a little bit of time here.
I mean, I like to use... I personally like to use sword spins to go for try and get some double hits, triple hits.
Yes, that's a good idea too.
Does the same damage as the hammer. Hammer might be a little bit faster for just the individual hits. Typically, I'll have both available. Like you'll have the hammer for something that's for when it comes right in front of you.
Yeah.
All right, Zelga not going back in. We're gonna find out in a moment whether that's gonna hurt him. It is not. Okay. Might like to have full bombs, but yeah, that's not something you want to spend an extra couple minutes going in and getting.
Yeah, that's a nice skip from him.
Oh, Gil skipped one other check.
Yeah, he didn't do Ice T because he did the IPBJ first time through.
Right.
And it was so slow, he just decided
Yeah, it
to
makes
stare
sense.
instead of climbing back up the stairs.
Right, because he would have needed to grab this small key. Nope, not this. I guess one of the other small keys he had. I believe Ice-T had anything.
Well, we're an hour and 2 minutes in. We finally get to see East Death Mountain.
Yep. Starting with Spiral Cave. Just a map. Another bottle. It's 3 bottles. Plus one I believe we saw and didn't pick up.
Okay, and we're gonna get 5 for 5 red rupees here in Paradox. Oh,
Ah, not
shouldn't
quite.
anything.
Big Kitty Eastern. Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, forced double. Well, we already knew it was going to be a forced double tip of Eastern, but that's 2
Yeah.
checks. But you don't really want to go back there until. Well, you could actually. No, we need his pod small. I was about to say we could combine it with pod, but both our runners have spent all 4 pod small keys, so we can't finish pod until we find another pod small key. Maybe it's that one sitting on floating island.
Maybe it is. Yeah. Yeah, being able to combine those 2 dungeon clears would be nice, but it's not really a big deal if you just do Eastern by itself and then do Pod by itself later. At least when you have the flute, like we do.
Rodless Turtle Rock, anyone? Of course, we have just 1 small key. Can't go very far.
He's just he's at least gonna check this stuff first.
Yep.
I mean, he did see that small key on floating island, so maybe he's thinking it's a Turtle Rock small key, and then he can make it a longer Turtle Rock dive. But then again, do you really want to dive Turtle Rock? It's kind of hard to say.
I really don't, but I mean,
there's not too much left to do. Besides that, I mean, we can go back to Swamp with no hook shot or something. So.
Hookless Swamp after Hammerless Hookless Swamp. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, the options are not great right now.
I spell small key. Thanks, game.
I'm gonna see some hovering here.
I think most people with any sort of confidence in hovering will at least give it that 1 try. You can try. Oh, we're gonna go for the. Okay, he's just gonna give it that 1 try, but now he's gonna go for that small key on the floating island.
There's exactly enough bombs for this, which is a little bit spooky. But yeah, I think it's always worth 1 try, because even if you're gonna leave when you void in the pit, you're gonna respawn to the entrance anyway, so you're not really losing time by trying it once. Oh, it is a TR small. Okay.
It is a TR small. So that means if Zelga goes into TR, he's going to be able to go a little bit further. I think 2 keys to that. I don't have a big key yet. So it's not going to take us. It will take us to Mimic Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, so Gil choosing to go into TR first. He'll have to redo these screens if Mimic Cave really is the answer.
Yeah, I don't think he goes right back into Turtle Rock when he gets that extra key, though.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that gives you at that point is Mimic Cave. Lava just being out of logic. But then again, like, what else do you do? You're pretty close to Spike Cave, at least. Yeah, but you're always kind of close to Spike Cave anyway, so...
Yeah, I think Gil maybe finishes this off with Spike Cave. Zelga's not going to be in a good position to do that, so he'll do it at whatever save and quit is convenient for him. That Desert Small Key is also a thing we need to go back for.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's actually pretty good compared to everything else they can do.
Yeah.
See how
just
Bill fares.
And you have to be careful.
Here.
And doesn't even bother going over to that side, because you don't need that key to go any further right now.
He's gonna... Okay, he's also only giving it 1 try. Seemed like he was off to a good start with that hover, but this is also like a very high stakes race, and like hovering in this situation can be very difficult. It can be way harder than if it's just like a casual ladder race or something. You don't want to waste like minutes getting something out of logic. when you're gonna have to come back eventually anyway. Ape. That gives us another small key.
I would say that is actually not insignificant. It's maybe not what you were hoping to find. Oh, this is interesting.
He did take a death, right? I think I saw that. Okay.
Yeah, but he hasn't taken a death. Okay, he's gonna take another one.
Oh, true. Yeah, because he actually wants to keep the cape.
Yeah, you know, you want the cape. It's sad that you want the cape, but you want the cape. And yeah, if there's nothing in this lava chest, he's just gonna reset. Yeah, and he might have just, you know, this might have been that first death. You know, I also thought, as it's being suggested in chat, that he took that first death to make sure nothing dumb happened in Mimic Cave. But if nothing had been in Mimic Cave, he would have already had the death for this play. And Gil's going to go ahead and just finish out Eastern Palace with that big key we just got. Okay, we don't care about that. It was a little bit interesting when it was a small key, and then it was Hyrule Castle's small key, which we sequence broke forever ago, so we don't care.
Zelga's probably just gonna go to Eastern here, I would guess. Oh, shouldn't have said anything.
No, he wants Eastern. That small key. No, this totally makes sense because if it's a pod small, he can do the combination.
Yes, that's a good point.
If it's a Mire small, he's gonna be very unhappy. Let's see. I mean, just let's see. What smalls do we even need? We need TR smalls. We don't need, but there is a GT small out there. Obviously, 2 more pod smalls. And of course, both Castle Tower smalls, so.
Yep, and we at least know that those aren't on Lumberjack.
Yeah.
So one of the other ones is...
Apparently Gil just got the 4th GT small. Yay.
Oh yeah, that was in Big Chest, I think.
Okay.
Yar, yay.
It's not the one he wanted, but it is one he, you know, essentially needed. I mean, there's another Turtle Rock small out there somewhere, but and not immediately mirroring and fluting away. Oh, this is Hammer Pegs.
Depending on where the 4th TR small is, like, Gil could still have to come back and do Mimic Cave by itself. Yep. Hopefully for his sake, he just finds the 4th one and then never has to get the one on Bumper Ledge.
I mean, to be fair though, not knowing which one that is, unless he's got all the small keys, you're checking that later.
Yeah.
Alright. Zelga could go back into Thieves Town to get that big chest, but yeah, we're not doing that.
Going back in for Right Side Desert. I'm not sure if this is faster or slower than going in the portal and then mirroring in front of this entrance.
Yeah, the plus side is you're closer to the side you want to go on.
Yeah, but I mean, you could go in the Dark World and then mirror in front of the main entrance anyway.
Yeah,
and not do the book reading thing.
That's true.
Of course, then you do extra mirror transitions. I feel like that might be faster, but I don't actually know. So I'm not going to cast any judgment because I don't know what I'm talking about.
And nothing on Right Side Desert. So, do we have to take that hammer back into Swamp? Or Thieves Town Big Chest? Sure we have other options? It's like we don't have other options. Oh, we have that TR spot. We could go down to laser pitch.
No, we still don't have the big key though.
Oh, that's true. We need a big key for
Yeah.
that. Okay, so hopefully it's not like TR big key in Thieves Town or something really dumb like that. And now Gil, having already done Eastern, and now is at this Hammer Pigs check, and having already done the Desert Small checks, maybe goes back into Thieves Town here.
Yeah, it looks like he will. He probably already feels bad about having been to Swamp twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could potentially end up quadruple dipping Swamp in the seed.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
That might be one reason why he would want to do this before going back to Swamp again.
Yeah, I imagine Zelga goes to Swamp first, but he's going to do the desert checks before that. At least that's what I expect. He's already done Hammer Pegs. That leaves this Thieves Town Big Chest all by itself. Zelga also has that one chest in Ice Palace that he never did, and that's probably his hard last location.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you definitely double down on that being nothing if you're Zelga.
Zelga's and Mire on the left side, and if if anyone wants to go back in time, both of these guys get a definitive answer which is faster. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Oh
Big
no! Okay, we have to get that. That is absolutely disgusting.
That might not actually be like the next thing we need to find though for progression.
I know, right?
Like obviously we need that to beat the game, but Desert Big Chest and Landmo could just both not really have anything, and then Gil still has to go back to Swamp.
Oh, okay. Zelga's going back into Turtle Rock, I think. No, wait, he can't. He's going to... Okay, this is Spike Cave. Spike Cave.
Yeah.
We still don't have a big key to Turtle Rock. Given that we have both Cape and Cane, very much in logic, Hera Big Key, which
The rabbit hole
Can-
goes deeper with big keys
Theoretically.
and big chests.
yeah, that theoretically can be required. Hard required as opposed to just logically required.
I mean, at this point, we still don't have the hook shot. That is 3 new checks in Hera.
Oh, you totally do that next before you go into Hookle Swamp.
Yes, 100%.
Now Zelga says, "I'm going to Hookle Swamp before I'm going to Thieves Town Big Chest." Hopefully, for his sake, something like the best thing I think he could find there is like an ice rod. So like something you need, but not something that actually immediately leads to going and doing anything. Because Gil could get here back to Swamp and just never have to do that left side.
Yeah. Also, shout out to our trackers for marking Tower of Hera is the green pendant also. So it's basically 4 checks.
Oh wow!
To go up there and finish that now.
And it's a pendant. So that's actually pretty disgusting with swamping a pendant. There's nothing stopping a hook shot in GT, which would be insane. That like almost never happens.
Yeah.
Granted, in like an open seed, the key logic is very biased against there being able to be a hook shot in the basement if you're in a you know a pendant swamp situation.
No
we have
specky
all
clip
4
today for Zelga, sadly.
Yeah, we have all 4 GT smalls, so I suppose if the hook shot were just here, then Gil has to do whatever it is that Zelga ends up doing in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good start. And also, left side is a lot slower in this situation because we have, without the hook shot, we can't do specky clip to get the extra key, and we can't use, and because we can't get an extra key, we can't do on the one on the in that main lobby area. We can't do any kind of diver down tricks. We just gotta do this the intended way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back when specky clip was first discovered, people loved to talk about like, oh, you get to skip the hammer for swamp now. It's just such a big deal. But to be honest, situations like this are more relevant, I think.
Yep.
Like this is so much slower than doing swamp with hookshot with specky clip. I mean, just the first water lever, I think, saves like 20 seconds if you do specky clip. Like not even counting the sequence break potential.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels super bad to do all this without a hook shot.
I think Zelga needs something to be over here so that Gil has to at least do left side. In fact, right here, you have to do this twice, this little climb.
Yeah, it feels really bad. Oh, baby.
Oh, okay. No skipping left side swamp today. Unfortunately, that could send Zelga up to Turtle Rock instead of where the other place he needs to go, which is Thieves Town Big Chest.
What the heck is this seed? This is crazy. This is like the stupidest AD key seed I've ever seen.
Terrible seed. And oh, by the way, we have not seen any sign of a Castle Tower small key yet. Pod 5 though. Pod 5 is good. We need a pod key. All right, green pendant turn in. Bombs. Okay,
so Gil didn't get anything, right? From all that
I don't think he got anything.
Okay. I think this is still good for him though, because Zelga, by the time he needs to find the big key in Thieves Town Big Chest, he's probably going to end up doing a bunch of extra stuff, or at least there's a high chance he's going to do a bunch of extra stuff. So it's actually pretty fortunate for Gil that he stumbled upon that earlier rather than later, even though that's not really the progression that he needs to continue in the seed. Now that Zelga has that 5th pod small, there's no reason to put this off any longer.
It won't get faster later.
Yeah, not in logic, but who cares, right? Like, maybe it's going to be something good. You got to do it eventually anyway.
Yep. So chat asking where her big key was. It was in the Desert Big Chest, with the Desert Big Key in the Thieves Town Big Chest. And both of our runners missed the Thieves Town Big Chest doing Thieves Town before they had the hammer. Yeah, Gil's so used to doing Specky Cliff, had to remind himself, yeah, you know what, I gotta go grab this key now. Oh, wait. He set the bomb.
Muscle memory is strong.
is a thing.
But, you know, we laugh at that, but I will admit to having done... I've done this multiple times. I've specky clipped after I've already flooded the room, you know?
Yep.
I could just swim.
I've seen that.
I've done that several times. I think that's quite a bit more embarrassing.
And just bombs on Helma. So Zelga with 3 TR smalls and a TR big could complete the dungeon, except for the lack of any rods. So. Are we fluting away or are we going over to... I think we're going to Turtle Rock, but...
Yeah, I think at this point you believe in Laser Bridge. It's in logic. Zelga knows it.
And he's already done the one out of logic check. Gil also doing a little bit of diver down action that is completely unnecessary in this scenario. That's a lot of muscle memory there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. There's Turtle Rock Big Key for Gil. Now he's going to go back to Turtle Rock with only 2 small keys.
Yep.
Because he didn't get the cape from Mimic Cave, so he didn't get the 3rd TR small from Bumper Ledge. At this rate, unless both the rods are in here, that should be fine for him. Because it looks like we're not going to be able to clear Turtle Rock in this next dip anyway.
I imagine he'll finish out pod first regardless.
Yeah.
Zelga does need to get this small key back again. And the sun not open the door. For those of you who missed it, he did a death warp and then went and checked the chest. It turned out to be a Hyrule Castle small key, which is very rarely hard required in these seeds. Certainly isn't going to be hard required out of Turtle Rock, because if you can get into Turtle Rock, you can sequence break it with the glove for the backside and just not spending the key through Dark Cross in the front.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to just skip that pokey key on this trip. It's kind of... Getting it is kind of insurance in case both rods are actually here. So we can finish it now.
Yeah, that's a good
point. If we can't finish it now, then by the time we come back, maybe we have the 4th TR small anyway.
Unfortunately, while we don't have to go into Mimic Cave again, we do have to check the big chest. On 6. Nice.
And we're really running out of small keys that can be on Lumberjack, huh? What are we still missing?
TR4. Well, it's not Castle Tower.
Yeah, or Ice. It's
Yeah,
either
Ice
TR or
2.
Ice, I think.
Yeah, TR4 or Ice 2. So we don't care about that key, which is a little unfortunate because it does mean our logically we would need a TR4.
We could care if this is a crystal, because then that means that GT is locked by Castle Tower too.
Right.
But if that key on Lumberjack is just the Ice Palace key, then anything goes.
Yeah. Of course, that hook shot also matters. Like, I think you need both Ice Palace small keys. I take it back. I think to need both Ice Palace small keys logically, I think you need. There's a Fire Rod. I think you need both Cane and hook shot not available. Okay, so
yeah.
Fire Rod, and then do we? So what's the plan here? Do you go back and do the front 2 checks in Turtle Rock?
I think so.
What's the fastest way back? I heard this discussion, a similar discussion earlier, on a different race, and I don't know what the fastest way back is.
I think this is probably it, but yeah, it's a weird situation.
Yeah, the other suggestion, Alison in chat saying mirror and go from TR right. I don't know which is faster. Somebody probably does. But the point that he's also making that I agree with, if it is Ice Rod, you can just mirror back down. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess backtracking from Big Chest probably is faster than this.
But either way, we're doing it because we just got a Fire Rod, and that's most of what it opens. So Zelga getting pulled further away from the Thieves Town big chest he needs to do. Gil's gonna go ahead and do this Turtle Rock, but we'll see what he chooses to do with his 2 keys. Zelga, remember his hook shot.
Oh wait, yes, this is the right way. Good job, Zelga. Anyway, I think earlier in chat, I just want to point out we are also missing Mire 3, so that could be on Lumberjack.
Oh god, yeah, oof.
So there's 3 options.
All right, well, it's not a nice ride anyway, so whatever time loss is probably pretty minor. So, let's see. So Zelga gets to finish Skull Woods. And then what does he have other than... This might be Thieves Town Big Chest after that? I'm trying to think what else he has. Of course, he's gonna get 2 items here.
Yeah. We might be able to do Pyramid Fairy.
Maybe.
This could be the other red crystal, potentially.
Do we know what either of the red crystals are? The runners almost never check.
We know Pod was one of them, which is in Logic now. And Skull, I mean, we do have all 3 Skull Smalls. So that's in Logic 2. Whether it's the last 5-6 crystal, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anyone knows. Okay, it sounds like it is. It is Skull.
And yeah, I believe that is correct. That Zelga has these 2 checks and the Thieves Town Big Chest.
Oh, so we know Turtle Rock's a pendant then.
Oh no. Oh god, that's gross. Because guess where the Ice Rod could be? Also, hello, Tempered Sword. I mean, looking for 2 CT Smalls and an Ice Rod and GT, why not? Fitting for what we've seen in this seed so far.
We still don't even have the hook shot.
That we need before. Actually, ooh. No, I think we said it before. That can also be in GT. Dear God. So Gil's about to get that cape. Has not found another TR small elsewhere. Probably in GT at this point. And if that's the case, he is going to need to, at some point, get that key off the, off Bumper Ledge. Or, I guess, search for it later. I don't know. Head's dead.
I think that menu right there was Zelga checking to see if he does have Pyramid Fairy. And we see the Flute
Must,
Spore,
'cause
so
he's
he's going to
going
check
this
that
way.
next.
Now, at least for Gil, he's going to get this Fire Rod. He's going to be able to... He still will have the same decision as Zelga did in terms of trying to get the front if he chooses to do it at all. But is still going to need to get that small key off the bumper ledge if he wants to do Turtle Rock before Ganon's Tower. I imagine, I mean, it's a small key. You haven't found any Castle Tower small keys. I can't imagine he doesn't check it. You know, for him, he needs 3 small keys to finish the game.
It looks like he
There's
is...
Turtle Rock
Okay, he's doing
4.
the same... Oh my god. He's doing the same route that Zelga did. Just reclimbing Paradox.
So Gil might actually get his TR3 there and TR4 bumper ledge. But, I mean, you're still checking it. You're looking for CT smalls. Alright, I think Zelga is now down, too.
I think in Gil's case, I guess I'm not sure if he knows the crystal situation, because he can just go to GT once he kills Moth.
That's true.
So maybe it would have made more sense to just wait and do this after he has all 7 crystals and has to reclimb the mountain anyway.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
But again, I'm not really sure if he knows the crystal situation.
So this will be the Desert Big Key for Zelga, which will get him the Hera Big Key, which probably for him will be do Hera into GT. And oh, by the way, chat, we are still looking for a hook shot, both Castle Tower smalls, and an Ice Rod.
And a GT big. Now that I think about
Oh, right. In all this mess, I didn't even think about the GT big. That is a thing we are looking for as well.
So despite everything, all of the horribleness that we've seen so far with this seed, we're still looking for like all of the classically
Yep.
like, go mode items at the same time.
And all of them can be in Ganon's Tower. All those items can all be in Ganon's Tower. I guess worst case would be an Ice Rod on the climb. I remember several years ago. I think it was just a all dungeons, but not a key sanity. There was a league all dungeons race where the medallion to get into Turtle Rock was at the top of GT.
Yeah, this could be like a logical double climb seed even.
Yeah,
for all we
still
know.
could be. If Ice Rod is up there. Oh, well, yeah, with Hookshot, yeah.
Yeah.
We have all four of those GT smalls.
And if it
Some
does
sort
come
of
down to
weird
that,
hook
both these runners can hover if they need to. We saw both of them
Yeah.
try to do it in Hookshot Cave, and they both give up after one attempt. So they're basically on even footing in that regard.
Alright, so this will be a really easy landmo fight for Zelga with the Fire Rod. Gil's gonna head over and do Skull Woods. Has picked up his 4th TR small over on Bumper Ledge. So Zelga's gonna go do Hera on his way into GT.
Yeah,
he'll have 2 orphan checks with that because he's not going to turn in the green pendant, and he still has that Ice Palace chest that he's never going back to.
Yeah, this is really close.
Yeah.
The seed's been so bad. It's kind of distracted from the fact that this has actually been an extremely good race so far.
Oh yeah, these runners are spectacular. If any of you that tuned in late, do watch the beginning. Both of them showed off some skill doing the early Mire play on just fighter sword, bombs and arrows and a prayer. Not even a hammer. I think this is... I mean, I've been watching this game, playing this game for years. I don't play a lot of AD keys, but I sure do watch it when it's on. I think this is the largest number of items missing going into GT.
Yeah, I could believe it. So interesting, Zelga did not go into Hera yet. Could be he's hoping to find the hookshot first, so he can Hera pot.
I mean, there was nothing in Hera, so it really doesn't matter which he does first. I mean, obviously he's gonna do Hera before he climbs, regardless.
Yeah.
And Gil's gonna go ahead and do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it looks like Gil just wants to like cover all of the bases before going into GT. I mean, I think this is the only thing besides GT he still has left. Of course, we know Pyramid Fairy is nothing, and it's actually going to be kind of bad for him because it's just going to trick him into doing Lava Chests, which
it could. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but it certainly could. We're skipping Tile Room for now. Now Zelga is going to go ahead and probably do this and go all the way to the back on this right side. Do you sequence? Wait. I just wonder if it's worth sequence breaking the left side without the hook shot. We certainly can, and there's certainly things that could be there. But we are still looking for a hook shot.
I think you might as well. Maybe not if we don't find GT Big Key.
There's a Castle Tower Key. There's an Ice Rod.
Okay.
You keep going, because we're still missing things. That's true. We have a GT Big Key to find as well. Okay, he's going to go ahead and do... Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and do this left side.
Yeah, hookshot doesn't really make this faster at all, so I think that part's fine. It's just...
You just got to make sure you keep track of where that hookshot could be based on what you find here.
Yeah, we just might run into a situation where we orphan GT Big Chest, which is maybe fine anyway.
Well, I'm trying to think of where the GT Big Key could be that's not the basement. So obviously that's not going to be on the climb.
Yeah, I mean, from Zelga's perspective, it could be in Hera.
That's true.
He's believing in it not being in Hera. Oh,
Okay, there's a GT Big Key.
Okay. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
climb.
and yeah, that's not hook locked. That GT big key is not hook locked.
Yeah.
Important to note, it is 4 key locked, but it is not hook locked.
So first 3 checks of the climb are in logic now.
Yep.
Fun.
Silvers, we like silvers. Asking, do you do TR and Hera before climbing? Absolutely. You do not want to take an extra trip up the mountain. There's our pretend boots.
Finding 2 more heart containers here. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised their health is this low with how much of the game both these guys
I know,
have done.
right? Okay, so hookshot can be back here because, of course, you can go the other direction. We have all 4 small keys to do so. Gil doing tile room. That powder is not cool.
With being this many items away from go mode, and also left side being largely out of logic without hookshot, I think this makes sense to do tile room just on the way. It's more efficient if you assume you have to do everything.
And it's just a useless ether medallion.
Okay,
there's our castle tower small. Oh boy. Okay, so now Zelga will finish up Hera, finish up Turtle Rock. Looks like he's gonna do Turtle Rock first. So that puts the second chest in Castle Tower could be the hookshot.
Yep. Magic back to the hookshot.
The powder was no, the powder was no, it was big chest, wasn't it? Yeah, so Magic Bat could have our hookshot, and before anyone asks, Mushroom has not been seen, so there was no fake powder available. Could just be on Try Next, that'd be nice. There is a small key on the Lumberjack that is now completely irrelevant. We're down to Mire 3 and Ice Palace 2.
Yeah, so after Trinex, Izaga still hasn't done Hera, so he still has to do that.
Yeah, he'll do Hera after next, which we know is nothing. The question is, did anybody leave the mountain before climbing without a hookshot?
Yeah. So we know that they can hover. Kind of. The hookshot, at this point, like, it's reasonably likely that it's just on the climb anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll probably just see Zelga climb. I mean, he could maybe do tile room first still. Because he skipped that. And for those joining us, Zelga's already checked lava chests. He save scummed it earlier. He's not just skipping it. He knows it's nothing.
Yeah, I imagine Gil will check it when he goes back through Turtle Rock. And he will also go back to Turtle Rock and do it. Because again, you want to try and avoid an extra mountain climb if you can. All right, Trinex's gonna just give us a hook shot, make our lives easy. No.
I don't think anything in the seed is gonna make anyone's lives easier.
Nothing in this seed is. This is the most insane AD keys seed I have seen. Zelga probably still. Well, the funny thing is, if you're Zelga, do you even want the hookshot to be on Hera? Because, like, he's already probably feeling bad for being as late as he was to that Desert Big Key over in Thieves Town. Chad asking about Green Pendant Tournament. It was nothing. Insane that at an hour 49, Zelga walks into Tower of Hera and cannot do the trick.
Yeah.
Like Hera pot. Thank you.
Yes.
Cannot Hera pot.
Zelga just has to kill Moldorm here. Gylgamesh has to finish the rest of TR, so Zelga seems to be a little bit ahead.
Yep,
depending where the hookshot is, Zelga could still pay some of the time back by turning in Green Pendant, which Gil already did a while ago.
Or doing Tile Room.
Or doing Tile, yes, that's true.
Yeah, do you know if either one of these guys can do a Moldorm bounce? Because that's also an option. Because we know that's the one place we know the hookshot isn't.
Yeah, I don't know if they can or not. I think they're both good enough at hovering that they probably don't need to know how to do it.
Do that first. Fair enough.
Yeah. Like, even if it takes them a few tries, I think they're still going to be better at that than, you know, even one successful Moldorm bounce would take, probably.
Okay, so Zelga is going to do Tile Room. I think this makes sense. Last-ditch effort to avoid climbing without a hookshot. Alright, Zelga is going to be the first to the climb, which will put him ahead, unless Gil goes after one of those other checks instead of climbing, and the answer is in one of those locations.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way he does that, though. I think you just have to believe in the climb.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already up on the mountain. I mean, if it's not climb, it's gonna be bat or
Castle Tower.
Castle Tower 2. Yeah, so, I mean,
Which
more likely than not, it's gonna be on climb.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point there's 3 possible climb locations and 2 possible not climb locations. So even by those numbers, but also we have all 4 GT smalls.
Yeah.
And if we can get a hover or Moldorm bounce or whatever to get across, and then you do Castle Tower next, and Bat would be your last check. Of course, Mushroom's going to show up somewhere too. Well, no, it doesn't have to. It could be in the back of the swamp. And yeah, Gil's not mirroring away, so he's gonna also do this climb.
He'll be starting climb as Zelga's nearing the end of his.
Now, of course, for Zelga, it's a 50% chance, essentially, because of that one chest he left in Ice Palace. At this point, you have to just believe that it's just not there. Like, if Hookshot were there, yeah, you lost forever ago, probably. Yeah. On the other hand, without the small keys to get over there, you have to, talk about Hookshot locks in Ice Palace. Okay, here we go. There it is! On the climb.
Just on the climb.
Just climb GT. You'll just get your hookshot there. That's just the seed. We've now solved the seed. And that was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, this one was very special.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. But yeah, at this point though, it does put Zelda just ahead. And I think in the end, I think his mountain efficiency was just a little bit better. Was able, I think what they both ended up triple dipping TR, but got further along that first time. And then didn't have to do an extra mountain climb for Tower of Hera. Because he was able to combine it with GT since he was so much later to Desert Big Key.
Yeah, we were saying early on that that Desert Big Key might have been good for Gil that he found it so early, but in the end they both kind of did everything in the entire game anyway.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter. Zelga was late to it.
Yeah, I don't think there was. I mean, was there anything even behind it really? Just not a lot.
No, just more big keys to get more crystals to get to GT.
Alright, so now we gotta kill Aga 2. Or Aga 1, we just killed Aga 2. Then go to Swamp.
Oh my god, I forgot we still have to do Swamp.
Still have to do Swamp.
This is, wow.
Hopefully we don't get anyone dropping down into Ganon without having done Swamp. I don't know if you've ever done the 3/4 kill of Ganon without having done the things.
I don't think I have, but I've definitely dropped in a lot when I couldn't hurt him.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he says something different, but the one time I did it, whatever he said, I just completely ignored. I get to phase 4 and he's not taking damage, and I'm like, why are you not taking damage? What is going on?
I think he says, like, do you have wax in your ears or something?
Yeah.
Phase 4. It's pretty funny.
Alright, Gil with the hookshot now. We'll be able to finish the speed as well.
I would love to see how this time is going to compare to both these guys' like other 80 keys times in this tournament. I thought sub 2 was pretty much like guaranteed for top level runners, but maybe I was wrong about that.
I mean, not with this seed.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's sub 2ing this one. Because it wasn't just hookshot on the climb. That was like the icing on the cake, right?
Yeah.
Like the amount of breadcrumbs the runners had to follow. With a second dip into Thieves Town for a big key, a required hookless swamp. Actually, was that hookless swamp required? Maybe not. Because I mean, theoretically, you could have rushed GT and gotten your hookshot and then gone back in for your TR big key, but that seems even less efficient somehow.
Yeah, I guess it was required because Fire Rod was locked by TR Big,
There you go.
which
Okay,
locked the crystal.
that's fair.
So yeah.
I was trying to think if there was something behind it, but you're right. The fire rod being on Laser Bridge, but by itself, the TR Big Key, no. But yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But it locked, yes. Oh yeah, we had a what else? We ended up going into Swamp Palace for a. What was the second chest? It was that we needed.
Bombos, so we can go to
Bombos
Hammerless
to get into
Ice.
to go, yeah, Hammerless Ice for a hammer.
Yeah, Gil is gonna end up quadruple dipping Swamp.
Yep.
Okay, Zelga's just gonna run the Swamp. This is interesting. I wouldn't have thought to do this.
Yeah, I have no idea which is faster. Oh, you know why well, I guess that still doesn't matter. I was gonna say, you know, what you're gonna do is you're gonna do Swamp, and then you're gonna save and quit in the Dark World. Because you have Mire and you have Aga 1 killed, but that's irrelevant to running here versus fluting or doing some other way of getting here.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the question is it faster to just run through all the screens versus doing a mirror and then a flute and then going back in the Dark World again? I'm not sure. It's a cool idea, though. I would not have thought to do that myself.
And yes, the AD is all dungeons. Keys is Key Sanity. There is also all dungeons. If you, when Lee comes back in the spring, they usually do a co-op week of all dungeons, not Key Sanity, for their first week. So you'll see AD, you'll just see AD, all dungeons.
Yep. So for Ganon to be vulnerable, they need to collect all 7 crystals and all 3 penance, and they need to kill both Aga 1 and Aga 2.
Yep. And we don't even need, there's literally nothing we could, I mean, I guess there's a gold sword out there. We're not looking for a gold sword. There's no reason to check anything in Swamp Palace. So we just get into the back here as quickly as you can.
Although at this point, the gold sword probably is actually here.
I mean, always a sword in Swamp, right?
Yeah. But yeah, with good execution, it doesn't save time anyway. Then again, if I was playing a seed for this long, I don't know how much I'd believe in my my execution anymore. I would be so done with this like a half hour ago.
Absolutely. All right, there's a bottle on Argus with nothing useful. There's a save and quit. I'm going to put him right in the top of the pyramid hole. And Zelga will start the Ganon fight as Gil enters into Swamp Palace.
And he gets the 1-in-1, no problem.
Very nice.
This feels like a lot of warps. Can we
I mean,
can we be
just
done
to-
yet, please?
I know, right? Just to add salt to the wounds of how crazy a seed we've had.
Oh, that was a great fire rod shot. Holy crap. That was awesome. GG's in for Zelga, finishing in first place.
Very nice triple to finish off Ganon with a 2:04.45 race time. And after all that he's gone through, Gil is going to go ahead and finish this out. And Zelga joining us. GG's.
Yo, GG's, thank you.
Where do we even start with that?
I honestly don't know. I thought I had played my worst seed of 2024, and no, final week came in strong. I don't know, man. There's so much bad on this.
Well, we'll start with early on. You both did the Mire play without a cane, and then said, "I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this on Fighter Sword."
What's funny about that is I was so close to going and getting like a bomb and arrow capacity just because I had so much money. I was like, man, if I run into something like Samaria in here, I'm gonna want to finish it and I'm gonna have nothing. And then when it actually was the thing I should have done, I felt so bad. But like, you can't have actively done that, so it's like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that fight felt really bad to do, especially because I skipped the front of Thieves, which had a sword, so it would have made it so much easier.
Yeah, you both did. So you had already checked a little bit of the Mire area because you were still looking for a Moon Pearl. So Gil got there with the Moon Pearl and just immediately went in. So neither one of you had that Master Sword that was just hanging out there in Thieves Town.
Yeah, that makes sense. As soon as I got Quake from the shed, I think I even paused a little bit. It was so suspicious. But yeah, I just couldn't pull the trigger immediately. But then after doing some overworld stuff, I would rather go to Mire than potentially dip hammerless Thieves. And turns out you probably dipped hammerless Thieves by the end of this.
And had to go back.
Yeah. It's impressive how bad this ended up being. Like it's almost like Plando level, but there wasn't just enough there.
It was getting pretty close. I mean, considering you had to climb for a hook shot. You went into GT missing 2 Castle Tower smalls, a GT big, and a hook shot, and an ice rod.
Yeah, I felt a little bad doing left side since I eventually found CT2 and put me in hook go mode behind Ice Harmos, but I was like, well, silvers is enough of a prize, I guess. I'll take it.
Yeah, we did get silvers, and there's probably a sword chilling out in one of those Swamp Palace checks that you all skipped, but like you had tempered, so it was fine. And get your GGs in chat for Gylgamesh, finishing with an official race time of, we'll get that in a second, 2:07.56 has just joined us here. GG's Gil. We just kind of started talking about the seed.
Tell me all about it.
We're still wondering where to start. With Zelga, we started with the Mire play, just because that was the impressive part that you all showed off. Both of you showing off skill doing Mire on, as I put it earlier, fighter sword, bombs, arrows, and a prayer.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do it, but like I was already in there, and I was like, I can do this, so fine. But yeah, I mean, I was happy to find the cane there, but not happy because it meant that I was basically forced to do a terrible Vitreous fight. But whatever, it was slow. That's the worst part of it. It just takes forever.
Yep. But yeah, both huge shout outs to both of you for getting that done. And then we had, then of course you both got a sword in Thieves Town right, shortly thereafter, along with the double dip of Thieves Town. Neither one, like Zelda, you tried to wait. Gil, you didn't try to wait. Didn't matter. You both had to go back in.
Yep,
Then we had the hammer and ice.
of course.
The triple dip, the required triple dip of Swamp Palace. Gil, you
Yeah.
went there one extra time because
We
you
did,
checked
yeah.
that
I
first
wish I
time.
could have done a made it 5, but not lucky enough to
Couldn't quite
train
get
the
there.
damn 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah. The TR small key situation was amusing too. That not lumberjack, the bumper ledge small key, which both of you multiple times getting into Turtle Rock. Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yep, sure was.
Yeah, I mean, there was no really good route you could hit on this, honestly. So just hope that you made enough similar decisions and maybe execution could win out. That's the only thing I was kind of hoping on.
Sounds
like, man,
like that's kind of what happened for the most. Obviously
Yeah.
I had the extra dip of swamp, but I don't really know how you route this too much differently.
I think the biggest difference, Gil, you went and got your Desert Big Key out of Thieves Town a little bit earlier than Zelga did. I think it was last location by the time you went there, Zelga. And I think that caused a little bit of extra mountain climbing for you.
Yeah,
you went up and did Hera and stuff.
Felt a little bad when that when I went there, because I did the Thieves Town Big just a little earlier than I probably would have, but I didn't want to I didn't want to go in swamp for a third time, so
Yeah, who would blame you?
so I did that first, and when I got the Desert Big there, I was like, oh, okay, that's fun. And then I followed the chain, and it led to nothing. I was like, okay, well, that's less fun. So.
Yep. Yeah.
And it wasn't. Desert was a crystal, so it's not like it's something that Zelga could have skipped anyway. So
Right.
when there was nothing behind it, it felt pretty bad.
I tried my hardest, I promise. But yeah, it was technically last logical location. I still had the Ice Palace map chest, but it was hook locked, and I was never going there until I had to.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that if you were at all worried about that. But yeah, I guess we didn't have any Ice Palace small keys for.
Well, one of them was on Lumberjack. So.
Yeah, there's probably a Lumberjack. Although I think are we still missing a Mire Small? We might still be missing.
Oh yeah, I guess we are missing a Mire Small too.
So
okay.
yeah,
I think those are the only two we're missing.
Yeah, that's what's on my tracker.
So whatever's sitting there, we don't need. But yeah, and then of course, climb for hookshot. I mean, I said I don't think I've never seen. Not only did you need 5 items going into GT, it was like the classic GT Big Key, Castle Tower Smalls, both of them, Ice Rod, all the classic keys.
Yeah, all 4 ice rods still going into GT.
And then just to make it even more spicy, the hookshot was there too. So.
Yeah, I mean the hookshot I guess it didn't have to be there. It could have been in Castle Tower 2 or Magic Bat, but it pretty much had to be there. So. I
imagine neither one. Well, I mean, you had to at least think about not climbing, but I imagine the answer was going to be to climb.
No, you have to climb there. I mean, my hovering is not flawless, but I can do it in a pinch, so I was prepared if I needed to.
Zelga, same.
Yeah, kind of same. I'd already failed to hover Hookshot Cave once.
Same.
I was absolutely going to try it again. I have not even Moldorm bounced in over a year. I haven't practiced it or anything, so I have no idea if I could have pulled that out, to be honest. So I was about to try it, but I thankfully never got the chance.
Yeah, because there was not much left. All right. Well, anything else about this seat? Because I think we've covered most of the nastiness, but I guess even the Moon Pro was kind of goofy with the being in Hera Base.
It was silly, but I mean,
but that's something that happens.
Yeah.
You get the small key, you get a fire source, you get access to Hera. You just do it.
We were a little worried about the cape situation. That's one point where you guys diverged, but ended up not really mattering. Was that Zelga checked Floating Island first and got that second TR small, where his guild went in on one, mirrored out, and got the small key and didn't go back in just for.
Yeah, I was never gonna. I thought about that because I knew the key was there, but I was like, I'm not. Even if I had 2 keys, I'm not going all the way to the big chest for just Mimic Cave anyway. So I was never gonna do that.
Yeah, totally understandable. So then on Zelga's side, when we saw that the cape led to another Turtle small key, we were like, oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
is Gil actually going to have to come back just to get that? But then it didn't really matter since you guys had to do an extra TR dip anyway, since you were lacking the ice rod and you need to get the fire rod.
Mhm.
So, but that was just another great feature offered by this wonderful seed.
Yeah, this one was special for sure.
Yep, that is the word.
Yeah, arguably the worst seed I've played this year. So I'll
It's
take it.
probably the worst one I've played in this tournament, at least.
Yeah. And, in terms of, like most of the think seeds that I would consider potentially worse that I've played over the years usually involve cross keys, because that can do really funky things sometimes. But it's just
Well,
being 80 keys.
That'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, well, cross hunt. But yeah, cross keys, cross hunt. Subtle differences, but, So, by the way, who chose which of these modes?
I'll give you a guess.
You chose 80 keys.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Zelga, you're a well-known entrance player, so obviously cross hunt makes sense for you to choose.
Yeah, I have qualms about cross hunt, but as a whole, it's hard to turn down entrance.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, any thoughts on what's going to happen tomorrow?
Surely it has to go better, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
I'm gonna make the claim right now. I will not dip Swamp Palace 4 times tomorrow.
I think that's. I mean, we'll have to hold you to it, but yeah, I don't see that happening.
It's because you're going to dip it 5 times, right?
That's right. Yeah.
There we go.
Try to think how that would even happen. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to wrap this up. But good luck to both of you tomorrow. Anything else you want to add before we go ahead and close it out?
I would just say thank you, Skelly, Tracy, Derek, Kif, for doing all the work to get this on the air. Probably Rick on the SG end, I'm guessing.
Yep, that was Rick.
And yeah, big GG's to Gil, and looking forward. Well, I am looking forward to tomorrow because it has to be an improvement. So yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, I'll echo basically everything that Zelda said there. Hopefully, yeah, hoping for a slightly better one tomorrow.
All right. Like I said, good luck to both of you. Tomorrow, that race will be on the air. Imagine it'll be on this channel. Let me get the time for you.
1:30.
1:30 Eastern
Well,
time.
1:40
So
Eastern,
1:40.
yeah.
Tune in at 1:40. They'll be playing at 1:30. It will be a cross hunt. It will be game 2 of the semifinals. Both players playing really, really well, so don't want to miss it. Yeah, it's going to basically do it for us. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Dark, who ended up doing a solo tracking. Hopefully everything's okay with Kif. But huge shout out to Dark, keeping track. Trackers always are MVP. And Skelly, it was an absolute pleasure doing comms with you.
Yep. Same. Really enjoyed it.
All right. So, yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow for the 1:40 p.m. Eastern time cross hunt game 2 semifinals. Don't miss it. Good night, everyone.